I'm going to read some excerpts from my book, The Bible on Business. I want to show you that really you can find a wealth of business leadership, encouragement, success principles right in the Bible. Now, this book represents a collection of 40 devotionals. Really, they were just as I did my own devotion in the morning, and I found things that spoke to me directly as a regards to building my business, working on my business, working on me to be successful in my business. I simply journal them. I actually already have all the content for book number 2. But I just wanted to give you some excerpts so you can see that when you read the Bible and you're specifically looking for this kind of instruction, how dynamic the Bible is. You may have heard some of these passages in the past and it never occurred to you to see them this way, and by all means the Bible is so dynamic that you may read it again and still not see it this way, but this is what was given to me. But what I want to do is just to read a couple of these excerpts so to encourage you to go look directly in the Bible yourself. The next time you're reading something, see if there isn't something speaking to you directly about your own business, something you need to be considering improving in yourself with regards to how you deal with your business. Okay, so here goes. So I hope these excerpts from my book, The Bible on Business, were, a good, interesting insight for you. What I really hope to achieve is that you really see that the Bible can be a practical, relevant guide to not only life, but to our business. Put those glasses on. Put your entrepreneur glasses on, your mentor glasses on, your teacher glasses on, your team building glasses on, your leadership glasses on the next time you read the Bible. It truly is full of information, strategies, help for challenges, reframing the way we think, renewing our minds, personal growth. It's totally full of that. And I really hope that if nothing else you get from this course, that you have a new appreciation for the Bible, and that the next time you go to read it, you too will find that it truly is a practical, relevant guide, not only to our Sunday morning lives, but to our entire life, and especially our career and the sources of our income. Trudy Beerman here. I'm super simple to find at trudybeerman.com, and I look forward to connecting with you. So the first one I'm going to read for you is titled The Ditch or the Mountaintop. And the verse that inspired it was Luke 6:39, which reads, "He also told them this parable. Can the blind lead the blind? Will they not both fall in a pit?" And I have here the picture of the Pied Piper leading the children. The children's story of the Pied Piper is iconic of the influence of leadership. The essence of the Luke 6:39 verse above and the story of the Pied Piper is that a blind leader can lead his blind followers into a ditch or some very bad place. A leader cannot take followers somewhere without going to that place themselves. It is wise to seek the services of a coach at times, or to have a mentor we can look up to. We must be aware of who we follow, and hopefully this insight will be of some value to you as it was to me. The concept of the blind leading the blind refers to leadership being blind and the followers being blind as well. Blindness is a handicap, and this handicap can be a physical one or a spiritual one. Jesus redefined blindness here as a lack of perception. Matthew 13:13 says, "Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand." Mark 8 verses 17 and 18 says, "And when Jesus knew it, he said unto them, Why reason ye, because ye have no bread? Perceive ye not yet, neither understand? Have ye your heart yet hardened? Having eyes see ye not, having ears hear ye not, and do ye not remember?" The Bible is the best interpreter of the Bible. So when there is no physical handicap present,
then any biblical reference to blindness is likely to be a reference to a lack of perception. Jesus has some strong words of chastisement toward blind leadership. Matthew 23 verses 16 and 17 says, "Woe to you blind guides, you blind fools." If you have ever tried finding a place or got poor directions, you know how frustrating this can be. I have found the Bible to be an awesome business manual. Where do you go to get guidance from? As a Christian, be sure you have not set God aside in total preference for earthly, secular mentors. By all means, have earthly mentors and follow their lead, but do not be like the children of Israel and totally reject the Bible's business blueprint in exchange for a human guru or a king, in the case of the children of Israel, just to be like everyone else. And to round this out, 1 Samuel chapter 8 verse 7. "And the Lord told him, listen to all that the people are saying to you. It is not you they have rejected, but they have rejected me as their king."
Here's another quick one. It's day 16. It's titled God's Perfect Timing. Exodus 23 verses 28 to 30 says, "I will send the hornet ahead of you to drive the Hivites, Canaanites, and the Hittites out of your way. But I will not drive them out in a single year, because the land would become desolate and the wild animals too numerous for you. Little by little I will drive them out before you until you have increased enough to take possession of the land." We often want to rush God. We wonder why he's taking so long to do a certain thing. We're driven by the now mentality of instant gratification. There is a reason for God's perfect timing and the time span on delivering on his promises to us. God's perfect timing. Here's another one. Why your war market may not always be the most supportive. When we start a new business, especially if we venture into network marketing, the first thing we're told is to tap our warm market. You know, the people who know us. Usually that works, but here's what Jesus found when trying to do miracles in his hometown. Matthew 13 verse 57 says, "And they took offense to him. But Jesus said unto them, A prophet is not without honor except in his own town and in his own home." You see, the ones closest to you assume you are limited to your circumstances. Look in verses 55 to 56 to give you some context. Matthew 13, 55 to 56 says, "Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother's name Mary? And aren't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Aren't all his sisters with us? Where then did this man get all these things? Where did he learn all these things? Where did you? Your family and friends may sometimes be your biggest scoffers. How could Jesus dare to think he could be more than just the carpenter's son? Sometimes you really will have to earn your income and fame with a new set of people before your family and childhood associates realize you had bigger plans for yourself. Here's another one. Business as usual? I don't think so. 1 Corinthians 5:17 says, "Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. All things are passed away. Behold, all things become new."
Did you watch the movie MIB, Men in Black, with Will Smith? For me, the unforgettable characters were the aliens in human suits. In reality, Christians are kind of like aliens in human suits, and with that in mind, it should not be business as usual. Going to the funeral of my beloved grandmother made the human suit concept more realistic to me than any movie could. The frozen body that laid in that coffin was not the life force I had loved. When I bent over to give her a final kiss, I was painfully aware that this was just a suit. My grandmother was not there, but she was still alive in spirit. It was as if I could sense her nearness. What has this got to do with business? Well, when we become Christians, we should be very aware of the fact that we have changed at the very essence and core. We are no longer the same, as 2 Corinthians 5 verse 17 points out. We are literally a new creation, continuing to exist in this human suit until the day we're called away from the suit to be with our Creator. So how can we, this new creation, continue to do business as usual? Do your coworkers, clients, and casual observers notice there is something different about you? If not, why? Notice what Jesus said in his prayer for his followers. This is John 17 verse 16, which says, "They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world." We are among the others, but we are not one of them. Speaking of authenticity, have you ever enjoyed going to an Italian or Indian restaurant, for example? And for a moment, escaping into the experience of that land as you enjoy the authentic cuisine, decor, and music. You walked into an experience that was different from what existed outside those doors, right? Well, in the same way, when the world does business with a Christian, they too should have a moment of an authentic experience they wouldn't get elsewhere. Are your scales balanced? Are your prices fair? Is your service joyful? Is your giving generous? Is your praise sincere? Is your work ethic faithful? The world is capable of doing good things, but for the Christian, there should be a natural outflow of consistent goodness that through their new nature. So I challenge you today, if you are a Christian, even if just an employee, your business should not be as usual, reflecting your pre-Christian experience. It should be a qualitative difference. I'm not suggesting you go out and start blasting Bible verses over the intercom. I am challenging you to live out your new nature authentically. I anticipate quite a few people not sharing my position on this topic. Nevertheless, this is how I see it. Feel free to disagree. My feelings are never determined by public opinion. If this sounds all strange to you, then let's just ascribe it to my Christian brain adjusting to this alien world air. Thank you.